media. However, there are immense downsides as well, and we have only begun to learn what they even are. We've always talked, we've always communicated, we've always had that ability, but never before in the history of the human race have we been able to do so for constantly, all the time, every day,
Scarfo, good
no
afternoon,
breaks, right?
Yeah.
We're not.
And you almost cannot opt out.
We're not. I think that it's normal. I just think that it's gross, and I'm just tired of it. So, right? Like criticizing people for their fucking mental wellness, right? I'm sorry. I think we're all like maybe like a fucking half pack of cigarettes away from a fucking shooting spree. But I know who I am.
Is it mentally ill to ask your audience for money for health issues and then never get it resolved? At least somewhere on the sociopath spectrum.
I don't agree. I think I've talked to Wick about its scheduling issues, so I have no interest in encouraging that. I just personally think that I think Wick needs to stop fucking calling F-bombs fucking mentally ill. All right? And like introducing new mentally ill people in. You're doing him no disservice by writing cover and saying none of his behavior is based on his mental illness, is discouraging him from getting actual help by normalizing his behavior's disservice. Bruh. You're assuming he's not getting help. Like, I'm sorry, I'm just taking a fucking moment. I'll come on and tell you, yeah, get on the fucking call. We're through. Let's go. Alright. Yeah, jump in live resistance. I'll drag you in a second. I'm gonna grab coffee. Pissing Wick. Go. Good afternoon. Love you. Hello. Are you gonna cam up or no? You don't have to.
You want me to? It's up to you.
No, I don't care. If you want to, that's fine. It's up to you.
Something happened with the tab. I put it somewhere. Hold on. I'm sorry. Give me a moment.
No, you're good. Take your time.
No, I sent it to the front. I just clicked I went to click on the mute button because I have so many tabs open because I'm doing research for my stuff tomorrow.
What are you
it-
doing tomorrow?
But yeah, yeah, I'll cam up for you. Why not?
I mean, okay. Here, I'll do the same.
Why not, right?
Might as well yell, right?
Get my lovely,
Just you
lovely
put the fucking
face for
hoodie. You dressed up for this. You dressed
just
up
for
for.
you.
Thank you.
Just for you, brother.
All right.
So I have see.
Yeah, go.
Ironically enough, I talk about this later in the talk with Ruby here.
Yeah.
But I have this is a pattern of behavior I see, right? Like, so just to let you know, fbombs has been harassing and stalking not just me, but a lot of people, right? And this is a pattern of behavior he has.
Okay.
And instead of getting mad at that, oh, you called him mentally ill. He is. He's fucking mentally ill. He has issues, mental issues that he needs to address, right? We should not excuse bad behavior, right?
Okay.
By saying, "Oh, well, that's just mean or uncalled for." He makes up lies. He's paranoid, and he is a little fascist fuck. He's an authoritarian asshole, right? Who has no regard. Like his principle is power, right? And he it's hard to say because again, he is mentally ill. So I don't hate the guy because I don't think he's in his right mind. But yeah, it's a problem.
Okay.
And this excusing of this behavior, right? And even the celebrating of it. Like I think a lot of your chat has some similar issues too. I'm not sure though. I'm just being a little
I'm mentally ill too, so like
sure,
that's fine.
Sure.
All right. Anyways.
That's fine. Okay. But you're not engaging in the type of behavior he is.
Okay.
Are you? Well, I don't think you are. Are you stalking people? Are you making shit up about people? Are you spreading little rumors? Are you doing any of that?
Okay. So we're gonna start first part. I need to ask you some questions because I need to narrow this down.
Please.
He's stalking people. What does that mean? What actions have occurred? If he's made a shitload of YouTube videos about you, right?
Kind of stalky. Give me.
Is that stalky to make YouTube like, dude? Like I do that every day. I do a stream where I watch people. I watch a lot of the same people over and over again, develop perceptions of them, kind of keep track of what they're doing. Am I a stalker?
Yeah, a little bit of stalky, right?
So I'm stalky, right?
A little bit. Sure.
Okay, so I'm a stalker now. That's what stalking is to you. Not like him tracking down. Has he doxed anybody?
Okay. Let's do the
Well, no, let me because I want to associate.
Stalking. Let's do it. This very specific definition, right? Like, let's drill into the reeds and be a little pedantic about it. Fair enough.
Yeah, because stalking is way too much to say. That's a crime, Wick. You're accusing him of doing a crime.
Fine. Sure.
Okay.
This is how it's gonna go.
All right. Like he's making content and he's making it the way he does it. All right. It is a lot of the time. I've said this before. It is fucking incoherent. Sure, it is incoherent. He is frustrating to talk to. He loops. He is having a totally different conversation with you half of the time. Right. Okay. I will not disagree with that. I just don't like talking to him because there are people who aren't. And fbombs has also been open about his mental illness as well and his treatment of it recently also, right? That is something he has talked about recently, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, again, I'm not gonna let him use it as a shield though.
Okay, what is he using it for a shield? He's just going ahead and making videos about.
I'm saying you are. I'm saying you right now. Instead of talking about his behavior, you're saying, "Oh, how dare you call him mentally ill?"
Yeah, no, I'm saying, how dare you condemn this person for being mentally ill?
That's what I'm saying. His behavior,
okay,
right? Which his mental illness contributes to.
So,
does his mental, in your opinion, right? I know you're not a professional, right? But do you think his mental illness affects his behavior?
I mean, the mental illness is our behavior. My mental illness is a part of me, regardless of what it is.
It would be weird to say that my mental illness is totally disconnected from the way I behave. Would that be a correct statement?
Sure. Sure, that's
Okay?
usually
So
it's a
when
part.
I
Yeah,
say,
if you
right?
suffer from a disease, yes, it's a part of you. The experiences that
Mhm.
lead up in your life that go ahead and make someone disabled, for instance, is a part of who you are. That does affect what you are. If you're slightly taller, that's going to affect you. Yeah, but that's just the predisposition of it. Sorry, I was bringing up your DMs from today because I do have specific issues in there. We're just going to
Okay,
go into
cool.
that. But anyways, not like Discord chatterino. Okay, whatever. So yeah, but the thing is, again, I still don't think you could just say he's an annoying prick. You don't need to constantly be turning it into this like mental illness thing. This is the problem he has with you at this point.
But that is a direct contributor, a
Uh huh.
major contributor to his behavior.
Uh huh.
Why can I not call that out and point it out and make people aware? Because people will look at this and say, why is this person behaving that way?
Mm-hmm.
Is it unfair? Is it dishonest to say, hey, a major reason that he behaves in the way he does is because of his mental illness?
Well, right
That
now
is
I'm
just
actually like
true.
I'm trying to figure out what it is that he does, right? And that like the
Have
rest of
you
us don't
have you
do,
seen
right?
his content?
Yes, I've seen his content. It's annoying. I
Have you
agree.
seen his
It's
tweets?
yeah, I've seen your tweets too.
Okay.
I think I've
Have you
seen a
seen the
lot
way
of
he
fucking people
engages with
tweet.
people?
Yeah, I've seen the way you've engaged with
Okay.
people. If you've seen the way
That is the
I
behavior
engage with
I am
people.
referring to.
Okay, but here's the thing, Wick, you're complaining about this guy, and it seems kind of fucking unique, right? There are like two
Well,
people
not
you
many
burned.
people make
How many people have you burned the
all
bridge
the
with?
streams about me like he does.
Uh-huh.
So yes, is
Okay.
it unique? Not exactly, but it is rare because again, I'm not usually on people's minds. Let's
Mm-hmm.
be honest.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy seems to again, he got mad because I told him to fuck off. But
Mm-hmm.
he couldn't take that for an answer, right? I told him
Yeah.
to fuck off and then I blocked him. And
Mm-hmm.
he since then has been constantly, right?
Mm-hmm.
Constantly nip, 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 which is fine. He can do it. I don't care. But you, well, this is what I do care about. You trying to run cover, excuse all that behavior, and point me as a bad
How am
guy
I excusing that behavior?
for calling him out because he is mentally ill.
Bruh, here's the problem. I don't think you understand my history with F-bombs, right? Because I had a conversation with that motherfucker where he was trying to point me on some
Cool,
stuff,
not
and now
about you.
shut
It's
the
about me
fuck
and
up. I'm
F-bombs, not
finished.
you.
Hey, am I interrupting you? I'm talking to fucking F-bombs because I did find the language that you used during your conversation with Nina, the conversation with Tuna Chip, like et cetera, you just are literally saying he's mentally ill, be gone, right? Like you'll admit that's effectively what you're saying.
I can't cure that. I can't fix that.
Okay, I understand you can't cure that and fix that. You can just say,
mental
yeah,
illness, since his mental illness is a major contributing factor, one of the major contributing factors to his behavior,
mm-hmm.
it's just entirely okay. Like, look, you have an.
Do you think I'm saying F-bombs doing this shit is entirely okay? I'm literally telling you, the most I'm willing to give you is that it's kind of fucking annoying, but you kind of get used to it after a while. That sometimes people can't keep their fucking name out your mouth.
The only thing I'm saying is I don't want to interact with him.
Okay. Just say, yeah, I don't like that fucking guy. Don't constantly just say, let me see here exactly what it is. How you go ahead. F-bombs needs to own some men's. He's a fascist cunt. Okay, you said he's a fascist cunt. He's an authoritarian fascist cunt, and he needs to own some more meds. He's on Wick. I'm pretty sure F-bombs is going through treatment. He's had these issues for a long time.
I hope it helps him, and I hope he gets better. But until that happens, he can stay far away from me.
Okay, so what about like fucking who is it? Do you have anybody on that's like prescribed incorrectly on your shows? Ever? Have you ever done that? Do you have do you have an ethical culpability to going ahead and removing mentally ill people from your proximity until they get better and stop destroying themselves, right?
I don't have people on my show that behave in the way he does towards me.
Towards you?
Yes.
So it's because you're offended by it.
Okay.
That it's different.
Let me explain how this works.
Uh-huh.
I get to decide
yeah.
who I talk to and who I don't.
Mm-hmm. I don't disagree with that.
Oh, apparently, then what?
I disagree with you saying that somebody is mentally ill. That they're
not somebody. F-bombs.
F-bombs
F-bombs
is stalking you
mentally
by
ill,
making
and two, to the
content
fact that his
like he
mental
normally
illness
does.
describes and ascribes, or not describes, but channels how he behaves and acts towards me, and it is in a way that I find unhinged and frankly a little bit dangerous. Not that big.
Okay, so now you're ascribing that he's dangerous because he's making content.
He's obsessive. Can we say that?
Sure. Yeah, I'll give you obsessive. Is there anything wrong about being obsessive?
Person around me.
Is there anything?
Like,
well, okay. Well, wait. No, you absolutely fucking do want obsessive people around you. You constantly have people who are obsessively involved with
doing this bullshit.
What?
Right, where you're like, oh,
no, I'm saying
specific
I'm saying that you're being unfucking
down to that and ignore the context in which it's in. This is fucking bullshit.
No, I'm saying that you're being unfair to one guy because he disagrees with you and he goes at you.
F-bomb?
Yeah, a little bit.
That's fucking insane, dude. I was more than willing to hear him out, to let him criticize me over and over again, to call me a fascist enabler over and over again. I've had him on my show several times. The fact that he just won't stop and continues to engage in behavior that is getting worse and worse, there has to be a point where I could just fucking cut him off and it not be unfair. I'm treating him unfairly. Maybe he should stop acting like a fucking weirdo and stop being an obsessive little cunt and stop being an authoritarian bitch. And maybe I treat him better. Maybe the reason I treat him the way he does is because of how he behaves. And if he stops behaving in that manner, maybe we could have a conversation. But he refuses to. And in fact, he gets worse. So no, fuck him.
Why don't you just call him an asshole? Like, you could just do that. Like, why are you being edgy about somebody's mental illness?
What do you mean edgy about?
You're being edgy about somebody's mental illness. You can just say he's an asshole, dude.
Honest.
Okay. What about fucking Katie?
To say that his behavior is influenced in a large part by his mental illness.
I would say it's applied in part. I don't know if it's a large part of it. I think some of it, yeah, the obsessiveness, sure, right? But again, at that point, we have to literally kind of get rid of anybody in this space.
No, we don't.
Yes, you do.
Almost no one that I have in my space acts like.
Yeah,
I can't think
no
of
one that you have in your space, right? Like, but you do. Lav is obsessed with sex work and femininity, right? You have obsessive people on.
You don't see a difference between these things?
Well, yeah, no, I'm saying you can have him kicked off. I'm just saying, don't fucking come in and say he needs to own some fucking meds. Don't fucking prescribe that. You can just say he's an asshole. Why do you gotta go that extra step? That's what my problem is with this. Why are you going that extra step? It's gross to me.
Instead of his weirdo ass behavior.
That's fine. Call it weird ass behavior. You could do that. You don't need to jump.
It's this umbrage. It's this pearl clutching. Clutch your pearl. Do you have pearls? You should probably put them on so you can clutch them hard.
I don't know, man. Like, how many more fucking times are you gonna have fucking Lav on?
Fucking obsessed.
How many? Why is it that when somebody is consistently criticizing you, you kick them out? You did this to Viv. You did this to fucking F-bombs. Who are you gonna do it to next, man? Who's the next fucking lefty you kick out to grab your fucking points? Which one?
Lefty I kick out? Like, what do you mean the lefty I kicked out?
Well, this is what happened. This is what it's been.
Because he's lefty that I kicked him out?
Have you kicked out Katie? Have you removed Katie?
Katie does. When's the last time Katie's been on my show?
I don't know. I don't know if she blocked you or you blocked her, though. I think she probably did block you.
When's the last time?
What about fucking Viv? What about Sick? Okay. What about, like, there's a lot
you... a lying little cunt. She can stay gone.
Viv is not a lying little cunt. She is not a lying cunt. Okay, stop. No. You're stopping. I'm giving you because you didn't watch a stream. Okay.
She's a lying
is it okay? Let me talk. After that occasion happened, I sat down with Viv. We went over the figures. She seemed genuinely shocked and surprised when we looked at even her going ahead and saying, I'm covering the macrocosm of the war. This one event, I got it fucking wrong because I misremembered it. That doesn't make it a lie.
If it was only that time, you would be correct. But she did it again and again and again.
Well, no, that was the last time she did it.
Lycan and Destiny, I think not even a week later, where she did the same thing.
Okay, where's that?
Again, in confidence, said that I think it was Uganda. I'm pretty sure it was Uganda. Did not sign a certain treaty and was not a member of a certain thing. But you know what? Yeah, Google that shit, and it's just wrong.
Okay.
She didn't say I don't think. She said it as a fact. She was wrong. She does this.
That's not a lie if you believe it to be.
Statement, and it turns out to be factually wrong, and she does so as a position of authority. What else do you call that if not a lie?
People mistake shit, Wick. You can say she mistakes shit often, so then you check up on what she says. I don't think she's even a liar. I just think that, yeah, she's way overconfident on a lot of stuff. All right, I talked to her literally right after that call. She was frustrated. She was confused. She didn't understand why that fucking happened at all. She's just like, and even during that call on your stream, it looks like she's like, okay, I was wrong. I'm talking about the largesse of this stuff. We went over the largesse of it. And she's like, oh no, that's it. Honestly, I'm shocked. Just in general, like that. Why are you calling these people fascist? All of a sudden, like, what's the point of calling them fascist?
Because I'm tired of watching, right, this kind of behavior, right? It's a behavior of going after people, trying to deplatform people, getting mad when they will look at, like, when other people have the people they don't like on these secondary sanctions that they engage in to try to shut them down, mass reporting, this kind of behavior is fascistic behavior. It's authoritarian at the very least, right? It's authoritarian at the very least. And we go in and they will do all these types of behaviors, but then they'll try to run and hide behind, oh, you called me this. Oh, that's not, I'm actually this leftist, anarchist, whatever the fuck, right? And look, I'm just tired of it. So I'm going to call a spade a spade. If you do this and engage in this kind of behavior, that's what you are. Because don't tell me who you are. I don't care what you tell me. I'm going to watch your behavior. I'm going to watch how you act. I'm going to watch what you do. And then I'm going to make those things. This is a problem I have, and I alluded this to Ruby. And if you
I'm going to watch the rest of the conversation after this. Don't get me wrong, but this is
a problem we have in the left. It's a consistent problem. It's a growing problem that we have on the left. We have given over power to a lot of people whose behaviors do not align with the values that the left purports to hold. And I think that this is more and more becoming clear, and it's just a problem. And so the progressives and Democrats and the rational left needs to cut off that group. The extremists, they need to be. We gave them a seat at the table. Because we were very scared of Trump and the populist movement, so we need more people. But we need to remove them from the table at this point and just stop taking them seriously. We just need to just ignore them.
Are you okay? All right. You just said something. I think it's a lie. What evidence do you have of Viv reporting your channel?
Okay, this is the thing. You go back and you get the clip where I said Viv reported the channel, my channel.
I don't know where that is. I'm asking you, where is it?
But you accused me just now. What else
you literally stop. Okay.
As if that's what I'm talking about. That's not what I'm talking about. You know that's not what I'm talking about. The audience knows that's not what I'm talking about.
Literally
no
stop.
one said that.
No,
you're making
literally
shit up.
Literally stop. I asked you what a fascist was, and you said it was someone that reports your channel. That can be a fascist.
No, I did not. Go back and look. I said they are engaged in reports of channels of people they wanted to platform. Nowhere did I say that was my channel. Not a single time.
Wait, so you're just saying that if you ever advocate to deplatform somebody, you're a fascist?
Obviously not. There was a host of other things that I put in there too.
Okay, well, I don't know what these things are. I'm asking you what it is. You can just explain it to me. I don't have to look for a clip. Like, I'm just asking you if, like, you're saying, do you think
bringing this up to illustrate the problem I have with this type of, like, picking out one single thing?
Well, no, I'm trying to understand what you mean by these things in the first place, because I don't think in any way, place, or form of, like, functional definition of fascism that I currently know is reporting your channel a part of being a fascist in the first place. I literally got lectured on this, like, 2 hours ago.
Okay.
Okay, that's why I'm asking what you mean
Would you
by
consider
fascism.
deplatforming a form of censorship?
Yeah, sure, I
Okay.
guess.
Fascism does use the state in order to censor their
Mhm.
political opponents.
Okay.
Yeah?
Sure.
This famously, they've done this. The Mussolini did this. Hitler did this, right? I don't know what to tell you. So this, yes, in and of itself, obviously not. As the only and single thing, a lot of people try to censor their opponents, right? So just based on that, that's not enough. Obviously not.
You're
But that's why I pointed
anti-censorship.
out
Yeah.
these other things, right? So again, like this idea that trying to deplatform someone in and of itself is fascistic, not true. But when you combine them with a whole host of other behaviors, it is fascistic in nature. Yeah.
Okay. So, by that logic, Wick, are you a fascist because you brought up F-bombs by this in this call? We haven't gotten there. Did you? I assume you disparaged him. That kind of sounds like what you're saying you did. Like that is a form of deplatforming because you're not giving him the space to talk, as well as is that not
It's flattening of terms? This is a
no,
joke,
this isn't
dude.
flattening
Like,
of terms,
again,
bro.
you
Like you're the one that's got
exactly
you're fucking
the same as
talking on some guy.
deplatforming.
This is the
want-
same
like,
shit.
what?
Like no, like you're a private fucking entity.
There's a functional difference.
I don't think Viv or F-bombs has the SCIA on you for them.
Not to call it engaging in secondary sections, which is not only when you say I won't talk to this person, but I won't talk to people who talk to this person. That is what secondary sanctions are.
Okay.
Like when you engage in secondary sanctions, there's a functional difference there between someone talking shit, right, and then someone engaging in that type of behavior.
What does that have to do with what we're talking about? The secondary sanctions thing, I mean. That's what I'm asking.
The secondary sanctions is when people say, hey,
no, I understand what it is.
People like Nick Fuentes on, they have people like Lauren Southern on, and therefore you shouldn't watch this person. That is a secondary sanction because you're not mad at what the person is saying. You're mad at who they are associating with, right? And it's a secondary sanction. So you're not sanctioning the person you actually have a problem with, which is Nick Fuentes, et cetera, but you're sanctioning anyone who associates with them. It's a secondary sanction.
Okay, so like let's say I converted Nick Fuentes by opening up myself to him. He falls in love with me, and we're both white nationalists, but we're also like gay together. And like we don't not only all that, right? I get married to him. Now he goes out, he has a shooting in a synagogue, kills a bunch of Jews, right? Would you still like talk to me?
That is absolutely what it means. That's a secondary sanction.
Yeah, like I'm in love with this man.
Of the secondary.
So you would still have me on your show.
Stop making shit up. Maybe okay, I won't say that.
No, but here's my question: would you still have me on your show then, even though like I'm fully like along those bends? As long as I'm just
I have you
peaceable?
on my show if you were having
gay Nazi with Nick Fuentes? Yeah, basically, yeah.
Look, it depends, probably. Yeah, I would probably have to.
So Viv being like, no one should watch this dude because he associates with these other dudes. Which
so
you're talking about the
if Viv was like, don't watch Wick, he's letting the guy who's having sex with Nick Fuentes on his show. That would be secondary sanction.
But if you didn't have me on, that would be a secondary sanction as well, right?
No, that'd be it
would be a secondary
you're a white
sanction
nationalist too. No, that would be like if I have a problem with you, that'd be a direct sanction. Like
no, that would be a secondary sanction because you're judging me by the associations that I'm keeping. That's the same thing.
You just said you were a white Look, if you are a
would you not? You've had white nationalists on. You still do, don't you?
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that.
Okay.
Well, I do have a problem with that.
I know what you mean. You don't have to worry about the clip. Okay.
Yeah. I do have a problem with I do have a problem with that thing, but I don't have a problem with platforming someone who has abhorrent views. But if you start treating my community abhorrently or treating me abhorrently, then we are going to have a problem, yes, because you've changed it from this esoteric view into an actual behavior.
So.
And someone who has an abhorrent view like that, I won't platform him in the same way I would with someone who just I have minor disagreements with.
Okay. So, if somebody that was on your stream was like actively harassing another person, or they were actively harassing another person, you're gonna have them on panel. Thing breaks out, find out they've been like just sending out death threats and shit like that to like this person in DMs, right? You would still have the. Would you have that
I
person
would
on your
ask
show?
the person that they've been harassing, and I would ask them.
Okay.
So, for example, this happens, and people criticize me for this.
Mm-hmm.
If you say, "Hey, I don't want to be on a panel with this person anymore,"
Mm-hmm.
I just don't put you on the panel with this person anymore. So if I have a panel coming up, right, and I have 6 slots for that panel, and I fill it, and then say Bob, okay, not to name names, say Bob, um, Bob wants on, but he doesn't like Susie, who's also on.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I will go on your show, but I won't do it with Susie there. I'll just not invite Bob. However, if Bob was already on there, I wouldn't invite Susie there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a secondary? That's not a secondary sanction, so to speak, right? It's just again, it's respecting
Wait,
my guest.
sorry, I
But
fucking like I dropped it. I
what are we
fucking
going with this?
forgot the
Can we get to the
secondary
point?
sanction thing. Sorry, continue. I'm sorry. Like quick this though. Like let's go quick. So Bob and Susie, what does Bob do that's wrong?
Uh, Again, I don't ask. It's literally if Bob or Susie don't want to be in the same room with each other,
Oh well,
then
that's
that's
fine.
fine.
Yeah, but that has nothing to
If
do.
Bob's sending Susie death threats and
Mm-hmm.
Susie's okay with talking to Bob,
Yeah,
I'm okay with it.
yeah. Well, I think at that point, you were then it's at your behest that like one they can't.
I'd ask Susie, hey,
You'd have to tell Susie, hey, can you please not talk about this person because they aren't cool with that, and then you'd have to enforce that by like not bringing them back on, which literally destroys your entire lav route of like making content because she's broken that rule how many times without taking any accountability for it ever.
what? If someone doesn't want to be on a panel with Lav, right?
Uh-huh.
Because Lav has
Yeah,
harassed
but
them
you
or
shouldn't
whatever.
let that person come on your show and then start talking shit about that person because at that point you are literally contributing to the violence that they're going ahead and perpetuating. Well, like you know what I mean. That's why
I know
you're.
what
Is
you
that
mean.
like that's what I mean? It's like they're being ratty. It's why we don't talk about people when they're not around.
We talk about people when they're not around all the time.
I don't like do that. Like I watch their
I
fucking
mean,
shit. I make my
look,
critiques. You can talk about it. I
are
leave
you talking?
myself open because I have an
What's the
open
title of your
platform.
show right now?
Wick. Fuck. I don't
Yeah,
actually
if
know.
I hadn't come in, would you just have not talked about me?
Well, no, I was going to anyways, but I would have left
Oh,
it open, and you would
okay,
have always.
but I
But
wasn't
wait, 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 wait,
around.
wait, wait. Here's the difference. I would also be willing to have you on my show to come and talk about those criticisms that I had of you.
And indeed, after
Uh huh.
someone who isn't comfortable, right,
Yeah.
after Lav leaves,
Uh
then
huh.
I will absolutely
Yeah.
have that other person that Lav
Understandable.
doesn't want to talk to.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Like I saw what you did with the Mr. Girl thing. What I'm
Yeah.
saying is that if you're going to be removing f bombs from your purview entirely,
Because
you haven't
it's
blocked.
me.
You haven't blocked. You do. You should probably follow the same standard where you don't talk shit about him at all.
What? No, I'm going to talk shit about whoever I want.
All right, well then I think it's okay that he fucking makes a YouTube video about you every single
It's
day.
I'm not.
No, it's actually. I
I'm
think that not only is what he
I'm not
doing,
calling
it's
for him to be
okay.
deplatformed. I'm not calling him to
Mm.
stop. I am simply going to point out
You
that he's
literally are.
crazy.
You literally told Nina not to bring him on and to ignore what he said because he's a fucking crazy, mental ill, needs to fucking see a doctor
When did I say
person.
not to?
You said it during
Did
the
I?
Nina conversation.
Nina converse. Can you remind me what I said? I don't remember saying that.
Fuck man. Where was it? Well, after you convinced Nina that Viv was an anti-Semitic fascist piece of shit, what the fuck exactly was it? Dude, we went over this fucking weeks ago.
I'm not
Um,
like. I just want to know what I said.
well,
I'm not sure. I don't remember.
I have to figure out where exactly it was, but
This
there was
was
this
this
moment,
was a
it was
couple
like,
months ago, right?
it was F-bombs in chat, he's going off, Nina mentions it, you called him mentally ill, and that, you need to ignore him. I think you just say, he's a fucking weirdo, and he just won't leave me alone. That's all you need to say. Let me look for it. And ask my chat to look, but I don't even know. Yep, okay. Alright, let's see. Alright. This is I think what Glitterbell was trying to say, like a part of like what it is that like I just think that honestly, you're being a bit motherless about this shit. I think you're being like,
No, you are free to have your opinion.
let me find it. I have no idea. Oh, okay, this is where it's like he's doing blood libel. God, dude, this is gonna be like 10 minutes. All right, I'm gonna post this in my chat. But yeah, I don't know. I think that like ultimately, man, like what it comes down to is if you want to have that open platform, it seems like he did cut the bridge before he made his like last thing to give him like a formal like please leave me alone, you know? Um and you have been continuing to disparage him. Honestly, he's farming you for content at this point, and
That's
I think
fine.
you
I
got to
don't
be okay.
farm him for content because I'm not that kind of person. But he's
I mean, you
taking
are.
his shots,
You
right? And he
you
can take
literally
his
are.
shots
You
all he
literally
wants.
farmed him
But
for
I just
content
want to
during a
point out to you
conversation that we're
that
going to
he's
watch.
literally insane.
You're literally farming him for content in a video I'm about to watch. You literally mention him when he can't respond. You are farming him.
Do you know what? Oh my God, right? That's farming for content by mentioning him when he comes up in my show or on other people's streams, right? And I'm like, oh, F-bombs, is that farming him for content?
When did
Maybe,
wait?
but
So
then
wait,
that's okay.
wait. Are you telling
Everyone
me?
farms
Wait.
everyone.
Are you
This
telling
flattening
me?
of terms where we can't have any kind of nuance and it's all just flat. Everything's farming now, apparently.
All
So
right. So
okay,
so Ruby has like an issue with f bombs too.
I have no. I thought we were talking about Nina.
Well, I was talking about Ruby in the conversation where
Oh,
you
I don't bring
disparaged
him.
him
I don't
again.
think I
I'm
bring up F
assuming.
bombs at all with Ruby.
Wait, I thought you said that you did talk to f bombs with Ruby.
No, I don't think I talk. I don't think I mentioned his name with Ruby at all. But I do talk about mental illness
Uh-huh.
and how we have let the. Well, yeah, I talk about mental illness. I don't think I
Razor
mentioned
and
it.
Rope
Okay,
ended
well, I'm
one
pretty sure
stream
I
with
thought
12
earlier you
viewers.
said during the conversation I'm about to watch,
Uh-huh.
you were
I bring up mental illness. Yes.
you don't bring up f bombs, but like
I don't
okay.
believe I did. No, I'm
Okay,
not
that's what
100%
I think
sure,
what
but
you
I'm pretty
said.
sure I
That's
did.
what I thought you said earlier. That's what I've been like kind of like saying because yeah, like I don't know, man. I feel like it does, yeah, F bomb's going to keep doing what he does, but yeah, I just
The
think
only reason we're talking about F bombs now is
uh-huh.
because you said that F bombs told me to fuck off. That's in your stream. That's the only reason he's being even talked about is because he took a shot. So I took a shot back.
He shot at
and
me.
then you clutched your pearl.
What the fuck are you talking about? He
it.
took a shot at me, dickhead. Not you.
You said, hey, Wick, F-bombs tells you to fuck off or something like that.
No, I said F-bombs told me to fuck off. That is literally the DM I got, which is I got it from somebody saying, oh, F-bomb says you can go fuck yourself, by the way. I said that to myself, my dude.
Hey, Wick, F-bomb says
Wait,
you can
did
go
I?
fuck yourself, I think is what you said, which I interpreted to
No,
be
I said,
talking to me.
I don't think I said, hey, Wick. I was talking about myself.
You
because
said my
I
name,
literally got a DM from
off.
somebody who's intermediating for F-bombs. I don't know why he would. I don't block him, right?
Here, let me actually find this because I'm
Oh my
pretty
God.
sure my name was mentioned. I'm almost certain.
We're doing the clips. It's great.
I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure my name was mentioned here, and that's the only reason I brought him up. Is because like how do I do? I'm watching this live. I don't even know how to go back in time on a live stream.
I mean, yeah, it's like on Twitch. I don't know how either. I mean, I could end the stream and then restart it in a second. I don't give a shit. I'll do it.
So let's assume.
No, like, because I'm just gonna say, man, no, I have this. I started like pressing you on this because, like, yeah, you said that F bombs was a fascist piece of shit. And I'm like, guy,
because he took a
dude,
shot.
if you're trying to divert, like, just stop talking about. He took a shot at me, not you. Like,
you posited it. You presented it as if he was talking to me.
No,
That's
I
how
didn't.
I interpret it.
I have no idea how you heard it that way, dude. Literally, Weppy messaged me. Rezi, F-bombs said you can go fuck yourself, by the way.
Okay.
It had nothing to do with you.
I believe, and we're going to check the tapes, but what I heard was that you said, Wick, F-bomb says you can go fuck yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I interpreted as that was addressed to me.
I mean, we can look for the clip if you're gonna have to look for the clip because I know I was literally talking to myself at which point I said, yeah, it's fine. I don't really care. That's literally how I deal with F-bombs. And I've been fucking had to deal with this fucking bullshit like a year ago as I'm like, yeah, I don't care. He can go fuck himself too. That's as much, I think that's literally what it was. You jumped in with, he's an authoritative freak, right?
I wouldn't have brought him up if
I mean, you saw him brought up in the stream. That's fair. You then called him a fascist cunt, and then you said, no, he's an authoritarian fascist cunt, right? And then you said that he needs to get medicated, which is like a part of what I have an issue with, is that you're calling him all these things. You're not a doctor. You can't diagnose him. All these things, and you are disparaging him behind a block. And I do think that, like, it's kind of, I don't think that's okay. I think once you block somebody, you gotta stop talking about them. That's it.
Why? He talks about me all the time. I'll talk back.
I don't know, man. Maybe because it's like you gotta be, I don't know, a little obsessed, you know, a little mentally fucking ill to go ahead and obsess about somebody that you keep at arm's reach. All right, while you malign them when you go around on different platforms.
Malign them? I just point out the facts. Okay. Let's look at the tape. Again, after you end the stream, so at some point, right? It doesn't have to be now because really this is beside the point. Look at how it was presented. Look what was said. I took it as you were directing it at me. That you were saying, "Hey, F-bomb said this about you." I could have misheard. That is possible. I mishear things sometimes, but that is the only reason I even talked about him at all. Is because I thought he was talking about me.
Okay. So, yeah, we can roll the tape. I gotta roll the tape. I gotta roll the tape on F-bombs to make sure and see that he's calling for your deplatforming, and everything like that, to go ahead and justify you calling him a fascist. I have to roll the tape on a bunch of fucking things because you made a lot of fucking claims here that I don't think that you've really substantiated that well. You literally admitted that you said one of the big problems he has is that he lies, and then you back down from him stalking because he's making content. He can be obsessive. You're literally accusing him of crimes and fucking, you know, giving it the mental illness, whatever, right?
Oh my god! Listen,
I'm just saying, dude. Like, yeah, I got a lot. It's pearl clutching.
So much.
Guy, dude, I don't understand how this is pearl clutching when you can't respond to this shit.
Oh my god,
when you can't respond to this shit because this is how some people make content.
Right now, Whick makes accusation of criminal charges, obviously in the context of the things. You know that's not what I was.
Yeah, you realize like they're again. Okay. All right, I'll look some shit up and we'll come back to this. Okay.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna watch your video. Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye. Yeah, I'll clip some shit up. You forgot to ask about Will. I don't need to. Wick 1, Resi 0. Okay. Okay, does anybody else want to argue with me? Like, go ahead. I mean, I'm just gonna be honest, jump in my fucking Discord. I guess that's what we're doing today. I take one fucking day off. I don't know. Stop fucking platforming mentally ill people. Don't blame people for their mental illness. Hey, what's up?
How's things and stuff?
Good. I'm doing great. What do you mean?
I got DMs about this. What the fuck is going on?
Wick came into chat. I'm fucking sick of him being the one who blocked F-bombs and talking shit on him continually.
Let me give you a camera. We'll make it even.
Oh my god. Okay.
We'll make it even.
Oh,
fair.
Did you get a haircut?
Yeah, I did.
I don't think it's fair.
Like it?
I'm like way less attractive than you, so.
Do you like it? It's like nice.
It does. Yeah, it always does. You get the same shit every time. Okay.
Yeah, anyways. I know. I'm very consistent. It's because I cut my own hair.
So yeah, I took umbrage with Wick saying shit back in the Nina days, but we did that like several weeks ago. Today we're looking at a thing and we went over something with f-bombs earlier, and then Buffy DM'd me, "Hey, f-bomb says you can go fuck yourself." I'm like, "Okay, cool, no big deal." And then because I'm used to it, like it's super normal for f-bombs. I feel like that's like a really like low level thing. Um, and then yeah, Wick called him a fascist and authoritarian. And I'm like, well, how is he? How is he any of these things? I found out there is a unique definition of authoritarian or of fascist that involves reporting your channel. So that was pretty fucking cool. And then yeah, that's where we're at right now. Now I gotta go through fucking clips of shit from a while ago. But other than that, I'm doing shitty. I've been sick. I fucking was shitting and vomiting all day yesterday. So that's where we're at.
I was like, yeah, no, I'm finally on holiday. I'm on vacay.
Cool.
Taking a break,
Sick.
so I'm pretty balanced. Did a nice little Cope and Seas stream. Moving shit over to YouTube is pretty fun.
All right. So, anyways, that's what happens. Do you have any questions about that?
No, I just came here to plug. No, actually, I do have questions. Questions.
All right. Because I want to yell at you about your video also, as I have specific criticisms that I want to talk to you about.
We can do that. That's
okay. We can do that after this as well.
Cool.
All right. Go.
Yeah, no, that sounds good. I like that.
Okay.
Sounds fun.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, the Wick stuff.
Yeah.
So, this, like, F-bombs tweeting at him, messaging him kind of shit has been going on forever. For fucking ages since, like, the October 7th stuff.
Yep.
He's been getting a ton of criticism about the Israel stuff. My confusion is why this has blown up now and what's happened. Somebody said that they'd seen a tweet of him leaving a panel. Did that happen? Or is that just fucking rumor mill?
I have no fucking idea. Yeah, for this blowing up now, I watched Nina and Wick talking about it, and I had a big issue with Wick. I think that if you block somebody, you should probably stop talking. Right? Even if they're going to talk a lot about you, you have to stop talking about them.
That's why I mute people, then I can still talk shit.
Yeah. That is actually an option that you can 100% do, right?
I don't care about their response. I still want to talk shit.
But the thing is,
them to see it. That's why I'm talking shit.
Yeah,
otherwise, why would I do it?
Again, using the privileges of free speech and the way that Wick has applied them, I don't think that he can have people on his shows because he's condemning F-bombs for something and blocking him based on his mental illness over and over again. And yeah, I think that there's like some very clear hypocrisy. Wick said that it is because of him. I just personally think that Wick should probably stop talking shit about him on other shows at the very least, even if he doesn't want to like back down from the claims of, you know, trying to claim that F-bombs antagonistic style, which is literally just a style of content making, which is literally what all of Twitter is for, is baiting out fucking idiots who don't know how to stop saying shit, right? F-bombs is just Twitter as a content creator.
Okay. Right. I think there's twofold here. So, okay. Wick, in defense of Wick, he has been under a significant amount of pressure, and those of us who've known him a while have seen the outcomes of that, right? Like, all of us have said, this seems to have had much more of an impact on you than it should have done. I think Wick knows that as well. I think that's I think that's fair to say. I disagree with you that F-bombs content is just the kind of same shit posty content. I think it is pretty fucking unhinged. I'm not going to lie to you. I think it's really unhinged. Yes, you're right. There are lots of people making content like this, but F-bombs is somebody who was like kind of in touch with the community and was making content with the community and has fucking spiraled. And Wick, I think, is going through. Wick's going through that process that a lot of content creators do when they've built relationships with people and then end up feeling stabbed in the back by them. Now, should Wick be reacting this way? Probably not. Let's be honest. I just went and looked at F-bomb's channel. He has less viewers on Twitter, like on his Twitch VODs, than I fucking do, and I barely fucking put anything up. So, like, honestly, it's the irrelevance thing. Like, you're only drawing attention to the person who hates you. Don't feed your fucking trolls. That seems really fucking obvious.
Yep.
I suppose my wider question is, what the fuck is going on with Wick? Like, it feels like his content bounces between normal panel content, which we're used to, to this fucking unhinged political stuff. I mean, like, listen, I fucking hate the idea of the canvassing house. I was talking about this tonight. I think it's
what. Wait,
like
what?
the actual, like, I really just, I don't know, the canvassing, going out and doing the canvassing stuff.
Are you
I think
going?
it's very cringe. No, of course not.
Oh, dude, I was gonna say if you do, you could probably just skip away. I'm like a state over. You could get drinks. I got a bar across the street.
I do need to come out soon.
Eventually,
but yeah, like fuck. I just think the canvassing's weird. I don't get this real political change shit. We've all seen this we've seen this play out so many times before. Maybe I'm just really jaded.
Oh, I think you're super fucking okay. All right, are you actually just confused about the canvassing house shit?
No, I'm not. I think it's just another thing on top of it. I'm just annoyed about it. I think I'm just molding.
What? Why are you molding about the canvassing house?
Oh, because I think the like real world political change with the fact that we're essentially drama streamers LARPing as political streamers is really cringe.
I mean, it's
like I just watched the Destiny Darius stream, and it's a load of people talking about how they're going to be at a canvassing event. We're talking about like a load of insane drama of people like
they're going to go
parole,
canvassing,
fucking doxing each other.
This
and, like,
is no. So okay, I think that like you saying like that is cringe. I think that in and of itself is cringe, right? Celebrities, right? Like I don't know how Britain does politics, right? Because you don't really have a country. But like.
Thanks.
The thing is, celebrities will attach themselves to campaigns to get people to come out for them. Normally. That's just normal, right? In, like, the microcosm of the internet, you have the control of, like, some mechanized horde of people that will knock on doors incessantly and do whatever based on the heroes that they've built up through parasocial bonds, aka Destiny community, right? So, like, a political party utilizing that is not, I don't think that's abnormal at all.
I don't think it's abnormal. I think it's unwise.
These are micro celebrities. That's what this is.
Sure,
we're micro celebrities, bro.
If you might be, I'm fucking not. I reject that.
Legitimately, if I said, yo, me and Beckett are gonna be at this bar for 6 hours getting fucking shithouse wasted, one person would show up.
Yeah, and stab me.
It would be Lilith. It would be Lilith. It'll be fun.
And stab me.
But like that's it. They wouldn't stab me.
No.
But you know what I mean, right?
We've been down this fucking road before. Yeah. The last time, whenever any streamer does anything like political, the like opposition uses it against them. People draw things out. I don't want to get into a whole thing about this. We can debate it another fucking time. I think it's
like you're just arguing against again. In my opinion, I think you're arguing against Destiny doing canvassing shit, which is what this is. And I'm just like, yeah, it works.
Okay,
it's dumb and it works. Let's just be real. It's dumb and it works. It does produce results for him. He seems to be the only one that can do it. For some reason.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Maybe I'm jaded on some other Destiny shit too.
It's just you got look,
things. Sure, maybe I'm just a hater. Maybe I'm just a hater, Izzy.
I don't know how.
Do you know what? I'm just a hater.
I'm gonna be like honest, like, because you're into this shit. Like, literally, look at what they did in Georgia. It's actually somewhat impressive if you look at it from like an organizational standpoint. It is super easy to do political organization, but it's just the structures that we have are such dog shit in the West, dude.
I just think pulling in streamers whose predominant content is drama, and Destiny's predominant content, I would argue at least isn't drama. Like, there's a lot of political stuff there. But if you're dragging in people like Darius and everything else, Wick's predominant content is not drama, but at the same time, there's a hyperbolic nature to Wick when he gets involved. Like when he started doing, I can't remember what his first one was, but he did almost this preach in the from the pulpit kind of style where he like talks to the audience. And I don't know. It can be very hyperbolic. I don't want to be overly critical of Wick.
I can agree with the sentiment. Wick has changed. Yes, I think there's something very different about Wick. I think it's frustrating. I'm annoyed by it. I have a very specific complaint, is that I just want him to drop the F-bomb shit entirely. If he blocks somebody, cut them out of your life. Never refer their existence. It's the only way to do it. I do it with f-bombs, you know, and that's what I did with f-bombs. And guess what? Generally, it works. You know, he just added me on Twitter today. I don't know why, but whatever. He's just using me as like some anti-left dem shill person. But I'm not on the payroll, so.
Oh, I mean, just who fucking
Yeah, I know,
what? Not on the payroll? Is this the Woo Bucks thing? I mean, the Woo Bucks thing is. Listen, like I fucking.
I hate it too.
Look, I mean, I talk a lot of shit about Woo, but I really do. You know, I'm getting bored of hearing the Woo Bucks thing. I'm going to be honest with you.
I'm honestly,
but like, unless there's something like egregious, like
so.
And I think there are definitely occasions where there's egregious stuff, but give me something egregious to work with. Don't just say Woo Bucks at me, you know.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are kind of I guess like, oh, we're just doing the commentary thing. So she left leadership in Progressive Victory, right? You know that.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
I didn't hear about this.
Yeah.
Listen, I've had a really
I don't
busy
know.
couple of
I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know why. I've just been. I've heard
she left the fucking payroll.
No, she left leadership. She left leadership.
I would not accept money. I would rather starve than accept money from Brianna Wu.
I would starve than accept money from Democrats. Okay,
I'd start
I know
on OnlyFans before I accepted money from Brianna Wu.
Don't do that. Baby, you can sit in the. You can just sit in the fucking bedroom. Okay, it'll be okay.
You can sit in the chair while I do it. It's fine.
You can have the bedroom. This is all I need. Okay, like literally this few square feet. Good to go. Good to go, baby. I know what I am.
Listen, if I ever do my Life Falls Apart and I become a professional streamer, we'll do an Aurelian Darius thing, and we'll move in together.
If we do that, no. Here's what happens. If that happens, right? We're both gonna have to be professional. What we're gonna do? We're gonna rent a car in Maine. Okay, Maine.
Okay.
And we're gonna go to every single state in the union and visit an occult site every single day over 50 days. Okay? No rest. We're gonna camp. We're gonna shower strategically. It's going to be regimented. It's going to be miserable. But it's gonna be a month and a half of this shit. Alright? You and me yelling at religion. I think it'll be fun.
So what we're doing is basically IP3.
What is IP3?
Well, you got Ice Poseidon and then Ice Poseidon 2. Ice Poseidon 2 is like the Andy Dick insane, like drinking, pissing on the floor. And then you've got us, IP3. That'll be it.
Yeah, we're just gonna go to like different temples and I'm gonna be fucking bleeding everywhere. I know what I'm gonna do. I got too much blood.
Ship lore developing. So true, Ties.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
I think that yeah, I don't know why Whick is
well, can we watch
aggressive.
some of the content together? I'll tell you what. Let's talk about your criticisms of my last video, our last video, Jenny and my last video.
Yeah.
Cope and see the last video.
Okay. One, that background flare shit that you were doing looked like shit.
Okay.
And it moved way too fast. I think that it would have been fine if it wasn't on the actual Ransona or the things that you're trying to show off and just like the background and sides of it, maybe.
We are correcting that.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because it looked like shit. And I'm not gonna lie, that was my first big issue. Second big issue.
We are correcting that. Yeah, go on.
Okay. Alright. Second issue. Fuck, let me look at the video real quick. I just need to
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, here you go, buddy.
Was it better than the first one at least?
I had less connection to this one. So actually, for me as a consumer of content, it was of less value to me.
I'm going to become a fucking communist,
dude,
and I'm going to fucking hold them all you.
All right, dude, whatever. Like, you're not... I was Polish. We didn't have that. You would just invade us. There was I'm sorry, I'm like looking over this. A part of it, like with the whole screen and having it like set up with like 4chan and stuff on the curve, I think is mostly okay.
Thanks.
But again, it does feel like at times like I don't know, I feel like you can do a lot more with this. But like you did kind of like sit on like a lot of shit every once in a while. And overall, it like I think it did like kind of limit your form because it's like kind of difficult to tie together years of random shit. That was like an issue. I don't really have a big issue with it. Some people didn't like the style. I like it. I think it's fine. I don't think you can do it again. that's like probably going to be a problem, right? Because you're not
What
going
do
to
you mean?
Well, what would the next one be? Are you going to have like Discord messages, or like how are you going to display things the next time? Is it always going to be 4chan posts?
Oh God, no.
Okay.
We're gonna switch things up and like.
Well, you realize at some point you've got to decide on a singular style that you're gonna use every time with it, for the most part, right? With like some variation at the beginning and end of the video.
No,
to, like, lead you in.
We can piss around with it. Like if we find
you know what I mean,
we find
though,
a solid.
Right?
Yeah, like again, but this is part of developing the style, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So
you hate your style now, and your style sucks. Cool. Okay. Next thing. I have literally no connection with anything in this video. I just watched it. I'm like, huh, okay. I feel like it's just like, I feel like somebody, like, did anybody get murdered?
Well, I mean, nearly people got swatted and stuff.
Okay.
Like, what would you want?
I don't know, like a murder, a rape. I don't know, man. I do rape reviews. I got a fucking like little thing.
Wait, hold on. Your criticism? No, you can't seriously expect me to respond to a criticism of it. Personally, didn't connect with you.
I don't know how to use. Well, no, but like here's the thing. So it's like, oh, here's this weird chick who drew pictures with their blood.
Can you just give me a topic?
There's no
story. We'll add it to the fucking list,
bro.
And make a video just for you,
bro.
For like
it's
a 60-minute video.
Bro. It's not just that. Like, where am I supposed to go with this? It's just like, I guess. But there's no, like, even conclusion. It's just like, and then they just disappeared. Like, that was it. That's literally, there was no, like, conclusion to anything at all. Like, none of these things, like, it's like, oh, okay. I guess those things happened in some sequence.
You need a tighter payoff, sure. Okay.
Yeah, like, but that's the thing. There was none. Like, okay. I talked to... No, wait, stop. I talked to Jenny about this before, right? Because I talked to you guys about these videos, right? And what I said to Jenny, what you should do... Who was the one alt-writer that Baphomet was fucking with that you mentioned in the video?
Do you mean Ralph?
Yeah. So what you do is you put up the Ethan Ralph saga. This is literally what I said to Jenny that you should do. You do the Ethan Ralph saga, and then at the end... And you say, and Ethan Ralph is still free, but all of these freaks are thrown and torn away. All right, it gives Ethan a win because at the end of the day, he wins, right? And but like it gives some sort of conclusion or something. But otherwise, it's just like I have a lot of information that I feel like either I understand it was like limited, but I don't know. I don't really have a conclusion. It's like that's interesting. I didn't know a dog could grow to be 13 feet long, you know? But that's what the video was like, that's interesting. And like, I didn't have anything.
Okay,
right?
So I suppose one of the big things with it was when we were going through like the end bits and playing with the ending. It's a really hard story to conclude in some respects because the last things that happened were kind of they just fucking vanished because everything that led up to it was so hectic that it's kind of hard to get that satisfying twist. I mean,
maybe you could have gone with something about 8chan itself, right? Where it's just like, and 8chan carried on and net without anything terrible, and then like all you do is show like the ML poll fucking like Nazi pony subreddit thing. Just
that's 4chan.
Yeah, whatever, dude. It's fine. I'm sure they use them on 8chan.
I mean, 8chan's basically a QAnon site now.
Yeah, yeah, and so just do that and just say, they survived, and now they're a kid. Oh, and then like you just like quick flash through that. Like I think that could even give a conclusion, but there was no conclusion, right? Like you got me hard, but you didn't get me off.
Okay.
So it's like who you really are as a person.
It speaks to the core. Yeah, I think it's one of those where, like, this is obviously like the second video we've done. A lot of it's developing.
Yeah.
And yeah, so like, I think those are fair enough. I think we're aware of those. Yeah. Like, there's some stuff at the beginning as well that I'm not happy with. And like that'll take work, but we'll see what the next one's like. I think the main thing is like as long as each video gets better, that's fine. Obviously, as well. Like,
I think the Demon Mama one. I just think
but we're talking a lot more like internet law rather than just like fucking
political.
like,
the problem is
drama show.
So here's the issue, right? Is that at the end of the Demon 101, you had this like fucking weird lackey thing, right? That happens, I think. Oh, you have this like gunfight and whatever, right? You know, like I don't know. I just feel like that is. Like, you know, I don't know. Maybe you need something.
Here's the problem.
I don't know what. It just kind of ended out of nowhere. All right, but I don't know what to tell you here.
Okay, like that's fine.
Is that fine? Okay.
Yeah, okay. So the problem is like we get lots of feedback, like you do with content and everything else. But it's like picking those bits that work, and you know, it takes time. I think it's a weird one as well because. I feel like this is a very different content avenue branch from stuff I've done before. And, you know, it's Jenny finally making like video content. So it's just taking that time to get on its feet in the way that we want it. But I will say this, look, I like the second video more than I like the first one.
I'm glad.
I think that I really like the storytelling in it.
You know what I will really say is better about this one? I didn't have my entire channel go fucking nuclear because somebody revealed to me a pedophile because of this video. I'm pretty glad about that one. All right, so
nice. Well, yeah. I mean, Benji was like a pedo defender.
Yeah, so. Well, guess what? I didn't. You realize the reason all that happened was because we watched your fucking video, you little shit. Oh. Anyways.
Oh my god. Fuck. Cool.
Yeah. I need to just talk already.
Yeah, I think that'll take time, smoothing out, but
yeah, I mean that's fine. Yeah, I'm just like I said, do you want I want to criticize you and give you open, actionable criticism, right?
Sure.
It's constructive criticism. I'm telling you
I think most of it we know. I think one of the big things is the way the furry community. I think Wix stopped being a free speech platform.
I want to criticize you and give you open. Sorry, I just wanted to catch you up.
True. Like at all. Pet. Like scratch.
Like yes, I. Good. Here's the window. And yeah, sorry. Yeah, that's on you, buddy. That's on you. Yeah.
Yeah, that's totally my.
I'm gonna be honest in the conversation. Yeah, Queen.
Right. Okay. Cool.
Okay. Nice. One lefty now. From bullying. And this is an hour and 15.
It shows that at Harvard recently there was a gentleman that showed.
Oh, weird way to do it. We need to do this in an publicly because I do. I really do.
Okay.
I hate to say this because actually this is almost opposite to my position. But okay, so I don't lean on my qualifications when debating or discussing things. I think that's a really weird way to do it. But there should be a recognition that while there are isolated incidents, admittedly quite high profile ones, of academics faking data or people bringing out bad research, that's going to happen in large scale institutionalized reporting and publishing. That's just the reality of what we're dealing with. But the idea that the solution to that is we need to take laymen on the same level as experts, which is what Wick seems to be suggesting. It's like, well, you can. He's saying like, well, you need to make sure that you're listening to the lay voices. There are certain things where lay voices, just their opinion is actually kind of fucking irrelevant because these topics are so complicated. It's like Lauren wanted to debate me on climate change, and it's like, why? Why would I do that? It has no benefit to me, and we can't do this in an online setting.
Lauren who?
Lawyer Lauren.
Okay. No idea.
You've literally brought me into a call to talk with her before. De Laguna.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay. All right, she
wanted to, and this is, I've said this before.
Why'd you say loyal Lauren?
Because she's a lawyer. I don't fucking know.
Lawyer. I thought you said loyal, and I was like,
oh, okay.
I don't know any Laurens that are loyal.
Like,
Laurens are women that cut and run, I feel, all the fucking time. I hate Laurens.
But I don't want to debate this publicly because the level of detail we would need to go into. Firstly, I'm not a climatologist, so I shouldn't really be debating stuff like that anyway. But any environmental stuff is such a deep level of detail that it's not worth having that discussion because it will take such a long amount of time. And again, it's the same as the counterterrorism stuff. I got bored of debating it with lay people because it was just so disconnected from the higher level stuff. I completely disagree with this take. At the same time, people shouldn't feel like they can't talk about these things. It's just that, if you're not an expert in the field, nobody should be listening to my opinions on psychology or chemistry or physics because they are lay. They're irrelevant. I don't understand these things at a level where my opinions matter.
Okay, but I don't think that's what they were talking about at all. I think they were talking about like cognoscenti control and the effects of capital on like education, or at least that's how she came off. And Wick was just like, like discrediting education entirely, right? A little bit, but I don't even think it was like a hard discredit or anything like that. That you can't talk about these things. Right? Like, I'm not even sure what your argument is. Like, obviously, like, certain people aren't going to want to interact in these spaces, but I don't think that's what Wick was saying.
No, but Wick's argument is, like, there are these high-profile scandals we're seeing of people faking data, therefore we should be, like, people are going to be questioning experts.
Yeah.
And that's why it's important, even if you're not qualified, that if you're a layman, your voice should be treated seriously. But actually, a lot of popularism is lay voices talking about things they don't really understand in a very confident manner. And actually, we should be hugely fucking skeptical of that. It's not like it's not a black and white issue. Just because the higher end stuff has issues in it doesn't mean the solution is okay, well, if the higher end stuff has an issue in it, don't pay any attention to the lower. Just pay attention to. That gives more weighting to the lower end stuff.
So are you just saying lay people shouldn't have opinions or talk about them?
Hold on one second, I just got DM'd. Got DM'd by Wick. Okay, but the point is, as I've just said, in response to that DM, which I'm not going to read out, nobody should be seriously listening to me if I talk about physics or chemistry at a higher level. They just shouldn't. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I don't think that's a wild take. Like, we can debate things and discuss things for an audience where we're hashing out ideas, but when we're talking about the higher end stuff, like, it does come down to a level of experience.
Wick, do you want to come back in and just yell at him in DMs?
Yeah, like Wick, if you feel like I'm misinterpreting you here, it's fine, because I've said this to Doobie before. Like, I've said I don't want to lean on like qualifications and things. I'm happy to have the discussion, but the idea that like a lay person is going to have the same level of insights as somebody who's trained and qualified in an area just is inaccurate.
Okay.
I won't be long, but no, that's not what I'm saying at all. Did you guys listen?
Okay, I mean, like,
I'm not agreeing with Beckett here. I'm trying to understand what the fuck Beckett's saying.
Sure.
Even
I'm trying to explain it. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Yeah. So she's complaining. Oh, sorry, the light's off because
you're fine. I don't care. You're good.
You're fine. Sleepy Wick's fine.
Another thing. But she was saying how no one should listen to me. I shouldn't even be talking on these things. So I'm trying to console her by saying, hey, no, your voice is important. Your voice needs to be heard. And while no one should take you as seriously as a scientist, I think it does matter what lay people think because institutions, regardless of what you think, are losing credibility, right? That's just true, right? No one trusts institutions anymore. That's a little hyperbolic to say, but a lot of people just don't trust institutions anymore. So they won't listen, whether they should or not. They won't listen to a scientist, but they might listen to a layperson.
Okay, so what I'm pushing back on is this: is like you point out the high-profile data fraud.
Plenty of them. Mm-hmm.
But that high-profile data fraud didn't come from like the like exposure of it didn't come from lay people. It came from
AI.
other academics.
No, it came from AI, and AI went through the papers to find these discrepancies. It did. It was looked over by other people who were in the field, and they verified it. So it wasn't people.
No. That's actually.
I would posit that AI is going to find a lot more of this kind of thing.
Sure, they probably will. But when we're talking about like the recent stuff that's happened in social studies, that's happened in the Harvard research with the Alzheimer's stuff, with kind of like some of the gene stuff that happened like 6 months ago, those were all academics who pored over the data. They didn't use AI for that. They'd been building that for like a case for like 2 years through blogs and small publications. I followed that story.
Okay.
So like, but the point is, like, you're saying, well, people aren't trusting institutions, but institutions themselves are self-regulating. But that's not lay people regulating. That's my point. And there's a difference. But I agree with you. Okay. You shouldn't. No one should be afraid to speak. Or
and we don't disagree.
Yeah, but I'm just. It concerns me what I'm seeing for the same reason it might concern you when you're seeing so much false information about the Israel-Gaza conflict on Twitter, when we're saying things like, well, we don't trust in...
false.
No, let me finish. But there are lay people talking about the Israel-Gaza-Palestine conflict with no knowledge of the region, no knowledge of the conflict, who are posting out what is essentially misinformation, and people are taking them seriously because of a lack of trust in institutions. It doesn't seem like the response.
Are also doing it, but that's a different conversation.
Yeah, sure, but the fact that misinformation can spread, I would just posit that the fact that is occurring is not an argument to listen to lay people. It's actually an argument to listen to more on-the-ground journalism, more people who are provably trustable voices, rather than people like Syria Girl from a fucking Iranian think tank. Like, it's about being discerning with the information we take in, not just
skeptical. Yes.
Yeah, like that's all I'm pushing back on.
I don't disagree.
Yeah, sure, that's fine then. Okay, well, yeah, that's cool.
I'll hang with you guys for a little bit. I'm bored, so.
Yeah, no.
All right, yeah, let's go. It's just like you are quieter, right? Like a little bit quieter. So it's like inside voice Wick, and it's just like I don't know why. It's just like I'm gonna hang out a little bit. It's like 100%, dude. Let's go.
Right. They don't publish the studies that show nothing or not the result they wanted. It's like there is such a selection bias. But Sasha kind of elaborated here, saying, wait, where was it? Oh, here, epistemic bubble. People in different bubbles are given different information and have a filtered version of the world. Absolutely, like I do think that's such a huge issue. It's the lack of a communal agreement on what is true so we can even move forward. You cannot, like, we're stuck at a base, like such a rudimentary baseline of arguing over what is true, what is real, because not to bring back to the internet, but it has completely changed the way information is dispersed.
Well, it's created a market.
And it's been great in a lot of ways that people have the power to call out institutions and to draw attention to that. Anyone, can go viral and make a statement. But it is, I feel very epistemically like confused in what sources to trust. Institutions that you would think you could trust have repeatedly lied, and there is so much perverse incentives in every institution that it does create a mindfuck. It creates disengagement. It creates radicalism, and I just feel like the state of discourse is so bad right now everywhere. And it's not. I focus on left because I'm on the left, so I'm not coming at this from like a right wing perspective, but I just feel like we are very much like in flux in our ability, even just amongst the left, let alone left versus right in our own different realities. And I don't know a way out of that. I don't know if I'm being like reactionary to it. Like, what do you think?
No, you're not. You're observing a real phenomenon. Don't let it.
Oh fuck! God damn it! I want to pause and see if anybody wanted to say anything about that specifically. I mean, I think that part of what she's saying is right, but it's like, I don't know. I don't really think that these are like super in-depth talking points even to begin with, right? Where it's just like, yeah, we are in a super hyper partisan era. People are radicalizing. Why are they doing it? It's probably a combination of literally everything that's going on. Everybody has to radicalize, especially on these online platforms. You're not going to hear from somebody if they're not like, losing their shit. That's 90% of like the interaction online.
You're about to hear what I'm going to say. So
you can just go. You're good.
No, I'm saying on the film. I already responded to this.
Oh, I know. I figured it was like a long enough time that I'm going to pause and check to see if Beckett had anything to say.
No, I'm good. I'm happy to.
I think that she's supporting more of what Beckett's saying, anyways, though, right? But I don't know. I don't really care about. All right, whatever. Okay, we'll let it roll. Okay,
we'll let it run. Let it run.
Gaslight you otherwise. So I'm sorry. I'm going to be long-winded here. Forgive me.
Bring it on, baby. I'm long-winded too, and I have ADHD like everyone. So.
Well, I don't have it. Luckily, no known mental illnesses, right?
I got them all, so
on my end. But let me kind of try to tackle this.
Wait, you should get checked out. You might be mentally ill.
I might be, but
at this point, after this much time on the internet, buddy, if you weren't
social contagion or something,
if you weren't,
it's not social contagion. It's just a reality, right? We're probably, but all right. Anyways.
Because this is a very important thing to discuss. A lot of people will look at the state of how there's mistrust in institutions, there's mistrust everywhere, the extremism and the radicalism is growing, and they will blame misinformation. And I think that's wrong. I think that's wrong to do. It's not misinformation that's the cause of this. We have misinformation because of this. It's a symptom of the problem. It is not the problem. The problem is that there is a market for misinformation. We can look at Israel-Palestine conflict as a great example of this, right? People wanted their truth to be truth, whatever that is, whatever side you happen to be on, because this is, I don't want people to get this twisted. This isn't a right problem. This isn't a left problem. This is a problem. Okay.
Prepare to get your words twisted. Go ahead.
So they wanted Israel to be evil, and so because of that, it created a market for people to show Israel as evil. So you had people using screenshots and videos from other conflicts, the Syrian conflict, right, the conflict in Yemen, right, and they passed it off as this is what Israel's doing in Gaza, right? They would not have done that to the degree that they did without the market for it, because they were rewarded financially, right? Not just from any kind of ops that they might have been part of or paid shield. It's because not just financially, but also socially, right? You're rewarded for finding this information. You've slain the dragon. This is just one example of this. We can look at a ton of others, right? Back in 2020, you were rewarded and financially incentivized and socially incentivized to find racism, to expose racism in your institutions, to get it out of there. And so you would go on a hunt for it, right? And unfortunately or unfortunately, depending on how you look at it, right? Racism's largely not the same as it was back 50 years ago. It's still with us, by all means. But the dragons that there used to be are now like little chameleon lizards, right? They're not as big, and they're not as bold and as brazen. Me Too had the same problem. You had huge issues, right? But people became incentivized. Like, there was a market for it. And people will fulfill people's market's desires. So misinformation isn't causing all of this. I want to be clear. It is not good. It doesn't help, right? But it is a symptom of what's going on right now. What's going on right now isn't new. It's just been accelerated to a point and amplified to a point with the tools we have now that we didn't 50 years ago. Because if you look at it, like if you look at studies like conspiracy theories, that's the word. Conspiracy theories and people who believe in conspiracy theories haven't really increased in the last 50 years, right? You hear about them a lot more now, right? But the people who believe them, just like flat earthers, QAnon, things like that, it's a different.
Do you think that's the thing? Because I would have.
Okay. So first off, you realize you're talking about propaganda in this, right? Like everybody propagandizes.
Yeah, that's part of it.
Like Israel is really good at propaganda classically. We know that
happens
too.
on both sides, absolutely.
Okay, cool. Just making sure that we're like clear and crystal on that.
Yeah,
because it's again, like, I mean, the thing is, like, Twitter is being used by the other end of this, like, just as deceptively.
Twitter's being used by both sides, all sides.
Yeah, like just as deceptively. So, okay. What was the next part? Holy fuck, that was like long-winded as fuck.
So, yeah, I think. I'm not saying I completely disagree with you. I think there's, like, as Rosie says, it's propaganda. I think there are wider things at play here. I don't think it's just. I actually don't think it's just that people want it to be their reality and they want to be right. I think most people throughout history are actually fairly unengaged with the narrative. This is, why most people traditionally vote along family lines. They vote along community lines. If you talk to most people's parents, they are nowhere near as politically engaged as our generation is. The next generation will be potentially more politically engaged or engaged in some other sort of thing. It's gone in cycles, I think one of the big things that's happened with how polarized it's got is that most people now are in some respects politically homeless. They are essentially no one really moves into their voter blocks the same way they do, so they move into social blocks, and the propaganda and misinformation serves those social blocks. But before this was happening,
it's a what's the word? It's not cyclical. That's not the word. But they feed into each other.
Right? Yeah,
so
sure.
The social block is created, and you move into that social block. I think you're exactly right with that. But again, within your social block, you were incentivized to find things and to spout off things and to say the lines that your social block does. And if you can be the one to retweet or expose or introduce your localized social block to a piece of information that validates their worldview, you were incentivized to make it and do so, right? And so you look out for those things. And so people have noticed this market and they want to feed this market because it's...
Sure, I suppose that one pushback is I just don't think it's new. I don't know whether you're positing that it's new. I don't.
Well, I think social media changed the game in a way that, no, it's not new, but the effect is new because of the way.
Okay, that's where I'd push back on you. I think that it is more global when something moves, but generally speaking, that's just been maximized. This sort of thing. You only have to look at things like the witch trials, the Inquisition, like how Christianity spread, the fall of Rome, and kind of the city of God against the pagans. This is how humans work. It's just that social media has made it a smoother process to do it en masse, but the effects are basically the same.
But it's much in the way that the machine gun changed the face of warfare, or that nuclear weapons changed the state of geopolitical conflict. It had a massive effect. And yes, war has always been with us. We've always killed each other for a variety of reasons. I don't think we can deny that the ways that the tools change how it plays out.
Yeah, I think, but by that, like, logic, right? Somebody who is dealing with this shit in real life doesn't have recourse in exo-life, like outside of themselves, right? In the past, like, you go home, you get to dread the next fucking day that you go to school, that you go to whatever, rather than even having any place where you're able to, like, disconnect from people. Like, if you're being bullied, right? You would just have to dread the next fucking day of going to school. I don't know, social media, maybe it's allowed those people to have, like, some sort of place where they're, like, unbullied, but I don't think it's necessarily been a bad thing. I'm not even, like, pro-social media, I hate it, but I don't judge people that use it.
I mean,
Joe,
go ahead.
Just go ahead first, because
yeah, but I think it's demonstrably made that situation worse because you're not dreading going back. You're always there. You never leave, right? I think I said this earlier in the thing.
Yeah, but
it's like 10,000
yeah, I know.
alien energy,
I know.
right?
I know you said that
all the time, and you can't. Yes, you can log off, but there are so many incentives to be online, right? That it's the options there. It's just there's so many obstacles to taking that options. It's not a real choice, especially for young people, especially for children, right? Especially for 13-year-old, 14-year-old, 15-year-old people. That's just kind of how they interact nowadays. And I think it's made it so that there is no escape in a real way.
Yeah, but I think it offers a lot of a fucking escape for people that have literally no connections, right? Like if you're like I grew up in a rural area, the shit that I was
there are pros and cons.
Yeah,
I agree with you.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying that. I'm sorry. I think that back in the day, these people would just self-terminate, right? Like that's it.
They didn't, or at least self-harm amongst women, young women especially, is up by a lot.
Okay,
So,
well, yeah, that's like that's happened across the board because we're reporting it as well. Like that's something that's definitely been classically unreported too. There's a lot of shame to suicide stuff. Okay, and I'm saying that still exists. I know one person who's never reported anything that they've done with it because they didn't want the shame from their work or anything like that. And this is like I know that these things go unreported, and like it's just that I think we're opening up to it now. All right, you don't just say, "Oh."
I think it's recognized that women seem to attempt more, but as with most things, men are just better and more successful and stuff.
True.
So actually, I want to. Okay, so I've got a take that I've had for a while.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think one of the big problems with social media is actually like a lot of people want to talk about like you fall into echo chambers and things, and then you get reinforced. I think the problem is actually the opposite. I think social media has opened up communities to each other that would normally never interacted. So like if you were a goth or an emo or you were a jock, your communities might see each other tangentially, but you wouldn't know what each other talked about. You wouldn't know like what was going on and wouldn't see each other's drama. Now it is played out in a very, very public way that's very easy to record. People like you only have to look at the explosion of the furry community to see how mainstream conversations about what is essentially a very, very niche very, very niche hobby has become. And I think that has driven people slightly more insane because most people are afraid of the others, of the other. They get freaked out. And for a lot of people, that's uncomfortable. I think social media feeds into that uncomfortableness.
Okay.
All right. I feel like I think that. So, Beckett, what are you saying about social media? Sorry, I'm.
Okay, so
I'm sorry. It's just like I understand you're long-winded. I've been in this for 8 hours now. Okay, we gotta.
Okay. Really simply,
I got a notepad. I'm taking notes
Israel,
now.
Palestine get worse.
Yeah.
Because and appear worse because previously, if you read like a left-wing paper, you'd read the left-wing opinions, and if you read a right-wing paper, you'd read the right-wing opinions. You probably wouldn't read much of each other's papers. Now everyone's reading each other's papers, and that compounds the conflict.
Yeah, I don't think I agree with that. But like, I mean, it's I think there's a difference between the hyper partisan shit like that we're currently experiencing, right, compared to that. But like, I think wait, what? Like, no, people read the leftist papers because like everybody read the same fucking paper. They consumed the same media, and it was just like, well, do we vote for rights or do we vote for taxes? And that's what
No,
it became in
no,
America.
that's actually not true.
Really?
That's just not true. Most people, like, this is why, like, certain news networks, and still do, pander to certain demographics.
Yeah.
You generally not tune into things that don't agree with you.
Well, I would say
most normal people aren't, most normal people aren't sitting through a full fucking Hassan stream when they hate Hassan. But when you've got something like social media, you can see like the right-wing opinion thrown at you really quickly in the subtweet. Everything is bite-sized now. It's far easier to see the most extreme right-wing opinions and the most extreme left-wing opinions than it used to be.
Okay.
Because those things used to be really hidden off.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I don't use Twitter because I'm not brain broken yet.
Yeah, but you don't. But we're not talking about fucking
I know,
you.
but I know. I'm aware of these things. I just like that's again my interaction with something because I'm a layman, right?
Fuck off.
What? There's nothing wrong with me saying that. I'm a layman.
There is nothing lay about you.
I'll say that.
Love you. Play the video.
Me too. I'm not a layman. But like, yeah, like I'm sorry, I don't think everybody's on fucking Twitter. I don't think Twitter is even representative of the fucking population at all.
Okay, right. Oh no, hold on. If the argument is not everyone's on Twitter, and you're right, by the way, because we know that things like Facebook and like advertising can feed into things, but Twitter actually seems to have less impact on political outcomes. Like, I agree with you, but at the same time, then, what are we like? Does this even fucking matter then with the Israel-Palestine shit? Most people are not getting their news for this stuff through X anymore.
Well, yeah, but where are they getting their what are they getting their news from Israel-Palestine for?
Most people have switched off from it in the general public, but if they're getting their news, it's through things like mainstream news outlets, BBC, like fucking Fox, CNN. That's where most people are still getting their news. At least for the older generations, like the people who are more plugged in on social media are not substantive voting demographics.
Well, I mean, the people who are not plugged in on social media are not substantial?
The people who are plugged in on social media tend not to be substantive voting demographics because they are too disparate, they are too widespread, and because generally speaking, the age demographics, so the like secondary and tertiary factors of why they vote, aren't strong enough to turn them into viable voting blocks.
So is that because it's like they're raising children so they don't have time for politics, and that's another reason why children are evil?
Sure. Yeah, well, I mean, obviously kids are evil. It's 101.
Freaks.
My perception, I haven't really looked too deeply into it, but my general perception would be that there was a rise to conspiracy theories just because anyone could whip one up, and I feel like there's more conspiracy theories than maybe there were back when like you had to like put out a pamphlet.
There might be more of them. I don't know. I have no idea. But people who believe them are about the same. It hasn't really increased. There's been studies on this. It's been very recent. You just hear about them more, right? Because again, everything's kind of, you have 10,000 bullhorns all shouting at you. And so, yes, everyone's going to hear the crazy one, right? But it's a signal to noise ratio, right? They're louder, but there's not very many more of them. But we have cool documentaries, and a lot of people know about them because it's fun to make fun of them or say, wow, that's crazy, right? Yeah. But yeah, conspiracy theories or people who believe in them at least are about the same. So again, it's a market. Now, of course, it's much easier for them to consume it. And there's enough of them that you can get a sizable audience, right? Like by parroting them. Like I'm talking millions of people. But again, they're just more... They're louder now, and they're more congregated. They're able to rally in a way. Yeah. They're able to rally around individuals in a way that they were always able to, but not as much as they are now. Right? They don't have to leave their living room to do it. So.
Yeah, I can see that. And like you're saying about like things like Me Too, it's like I feel like all these movements that had like an initial like very real thing, like everything that went down with like Harvey Weinstein and like the backroom casting kind of like that was all very real and a huge issue. But then you saw it, and whenever I talk about these issues, I feel like there's like a microcosm that happens in my real life. Like I've had two friends like who were falsely accused. One, I went to the police station with him, and I heard the police basically confirm that him and the girl had the same story, but that she I don't know if I should blow up other people. Anyway, I've had this like happen in my real life, and it's really shattered communities that were otherwise working together towards positive goals. And I wonder how to fight back against that, because when I do kind of like I take in some heat for standing by people who I believe were innocent. And at the same time, like everyone I know has been assaulted to some degree. So it's not to diminish the reality of that or like false accusations or these huge crazy thing, but they do happen. And whenever I take this more nuanced route, I feel like I'm instantly like people view it as like the mask slipping, like, oh shit, she really is like a misogynist, or like, oh, it's internalized misogyny, and like all these words get thrown at me. And it's so sad because those words used to have credible meaning that would like you could talk about misogyny that meant something. Now it's thrown around so much that I don't know what people are talking about when they say stuff like that. When someone's accused of being like misogynist, racist, or any of these terms, unfortunately, I am instantly somewhat suspicious of it. Do you ever have that feeling? Or
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is a lot of preaching to the choir. Yeah, I think racist means a lot less now. It has for a while. I think that we're losing a lot of terms, but I don't really think that there's much with this, you know, that I would disagree with. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Alright. Easy. I'm just checking.
There's been a lot of terms been flattened.
I refuse to let a video play for 3 minutes and then not say anything at all. Okay, and I don't have much to say about this. All I know, eventually Ninetales comes in, sort of. It's complicated. So, this is the background.
It's hard. There is a benefit to learning academic language about things. We're learning having a wide base of vocabulary, learning about medical language, etc. The problem is people take this knowledge and they apply it poorly. We can look at this with mental health. A lot of people have learned a lot about mental health, but they engage in labels and using it in a way that like everything is narcissistic now. But it's not really narcissism, right? It's self-centeredness. It's all these things, but narcissism is a specific thing. But they'll see a couple things that fit the description of what they read on a Wikipedia page or a news article that they saw or heard, or a documentary, a true crime documentary. True crime is like a very it's a problem. It's a problem. No, but they'll do that and they'll be like, oh, this must be a narcissist, right? And they'll just grasp onto it and they'll run with it. Not to mention the power it has to successfully label an opponent in an altercation as a misogynist, a racist, or what have you. It is a credit to our culture and society that these words have such negative weight attached to it. You can be accused of a lot of things, but being accused of racism, right, is something that people will avoid at all costs because it has such a negative connotation. And it's good that it does. But the problem is people have weaponized it, right? They have realized the negative connotation that goes with this word, and they have seen the power of being able to use it as a weapon and a cudgel against their political enemies. And it's an issue.
I think this is the core of what
whenever a streamer's being criticized now, they tell people they're autistic. Like that's a new theme. Like whenever anyone's getting criticism, they're like, I'm just autistic. I don't know better. What do you want from me? I should be playing with trains.
Trains are fun, though. Sorry. Wick, you were saying?
I said, no, it happens a lot. It's a shield. I believe we talked about this earlier. It's a shield. So, no, I'm just a small boy. It's the birthday boy.
You're so quiet. Oh, my God. Okay. Yeah, I mean, this is, I think this is definitely like along... Somebody says Andel is in chat. Beckett, just say Katie.
Actually, I was thinking of Darius.
Really?
Like I fucking yeah. He was. It was like I'll get tested.
Oh, because he says he's black all the time, but then the cops arrest him and he's white. Right?
Well, like there was the other one with Savannah, like this other fucking drama that's going on, and Hina's in there, like, yeah, no, well, I'm autistic and shit.
Savannah? Is that Anna?
No, this is like basically it's a fucking whole thing. A scammer YouTuber who like covers scammers, like Indian scammers, got like exposed for like sexting one of his employees, and the whole thing's fucking insane.
Wait, is this the one that just like has been happening with the chick that used to be, or she was doing MLM shit like around Illuminati and alleged that Illuminati stole shit from her, and it's like. It's getting like widely panned now because people are actually looking at it.
Fucking the video's awful. It's really bad. I watched just like now recording with the boys this morning. Yeah.
I don't know, Daddy. It is what it is. So yeah. Okay, all right. Yeah, I forgot what we were talking about.
Are we talking about autism as a defense.
Oh, autism is defense. Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like we always have to demonize the people that are around us. Like that's how we. We don't have to. I don't like doing it. I think we should do it less. Okay. I think that's
Okay. Well,
better.
you can do it less. I can do it more. I'll pick up the slack.
Cool. Yeah. Thank you. I'm just gonna keep
Teamwork.
It's fucking
Teamwork makes the dream work.
teamwork. What's the favorite wish?
Yeah, I agree. And so when you see stats like about Gen Z like having like I've seen like anything ranging from like 30 to like 60% diagnosed mental illness, would you think that the majority of that is due to overdiagnosing, or do you think there's something that's actually changing in reaction to the different circumstances that like the younger generation is
Okay,
being raised
wait,
in?
real quick. What size Pepsi bottle was that?
1.6 ounce.
Was that like a little bottle or was that a big bottle?
This size.
Okay, all right. You looked like a fucking giant in this, and I was really worried that you've been hiding significant size for a long time. I've always imagined you around 5'10" to 5'11". And for a moment, I thought maybe you were like 8 foot tall because the ball looked weird. Sorry, that's on me. That's on me. All right, we're good. Why are you drinking Pepsi?
I don't know. I'm gonna be real with you. I don't know why that this is happening. It could be overdiagnosis. I don't know. I have had panels on this. I've talked about this. I just again there's too much that I don't know about it to be able to make a confident kind of statement. I can't really talk on that with the same experience I can with the other topics. But it's something that is to continue. We should take it seriously. I will say that we should take it seriously. We should look into it and we should figure out why. Because mental illness is not good, gang. And I want to talk about this because this is important. Like we have this idea, right? And I understand why this happened. I get it. Right, we wanted to be empathetic. We saw that these people who were mentally ill were suffering from stigmatization. Right, there was a stigma. People wouldn't go get treatment. People wouldn't take the pills. They didn't want to be. They didn't want to be one of those mentally ill people. Right, and it became stigmatized. And we wanted to get rid of that. And I understand that. But I think we've overstepped. I think we've overcorrected here. Where now it's not just look, a disability.
Based work. Shame the disabled. Base take.
Yeah, like I feel like overcorrected. Yeah, like if you're not even considered a man in a lot of circles if you admit to therapy. Like the red pill shit that's currently like rising is literally just reinforcing that entire thing. Say that we're overcorrected pro therapy for men. It is absolutely
on the left. Absolutely, we have. Absolutely, we've overcorrected. I explained why in the video, but I can explain why to you.
See, this is like, yeah, you're not wrong. That's why we'll continue with it. But like, I still, even on the left, dude, I still think there's like a lot of negative aspects that come from even like being open about it, even on the left to begin with, right? Like, I think everybody's gonna judge you and think less of you if you say you're mentally ill, no matter who you are, man or woman.
Or they'll defend you no matter what you do.
I don't really think it's like
he's mentally ill, so if you call him mentally ill, then
well, when you're making a direct fucking criticism of somebody that you've blocked, it's a fucking ratty fucking thing to do.
I will criticize whoever I like.
Yeah, you can criticize whoever you like, and I'm gonna call you a fucking rat for doing it that way. If you're gonna criticize somebody, that's fine. I think you just keep your fucking their name out of your fucking mouth. Because I think it's ratty.
What do you think block is, like magic or something?
Yeah, I think it actually is. Because like I've done enough on the internet at this point that I've had people that honestly are probably worse than fbombs is to any of you fucking people, right? That are like constantly undermining, trying to go behind my back to get me like taken off of shit. I've dealt with that for years. What do? I block them and ignore them and move on because it solves itself. You just ignore them, right? And you don't mention them because then that gives them fuel. That's it. All right? I think it's ratty.
I don't know. If someone punches me, I'm gonna punch back. That's it.
If somebody punches me and I've blocked them, then I'm gonna just like leave them alone. If I don't feel like dealing with them and like actually talking to them, I leave them alone.
Well,
I never say their name again.
I block them.
I don't like this blocking thing. I don't like this blocking thing.
Why?
I have a very short block list. It takes a lot to get on there, right? There's like 3 people I've ever blocked.
Okay, sure. Like, so maybe like I'm happy to misinterpret, and be wrong. I think it's one of those where
I don't even think I blocked him on Twitter. I only blocked him on Discord because he kept throwing things at me.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, and I was like, okay, no, enough of this. Block.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sure. Okay, I can get that. Like, I think it's one of those where you've been around long enough to know how this works, right? I said this earlier. Like, I question why you care what F-bomb says. Like, people DM me a lot, and then I just ignore them. It's why I have so many fucking unread DMs.
I mean, why do I care? Maybe I'm a caring individual. Like, I have feelings, bro. I have feelings, okay? And it's okay to have feelings. It's okay as a man to have feelings and express those emotions.
It is. It's not as a streamer.
I think it's okay.
I think you need to be. I think you need to be an emotional blob.
Yeah, I think
maybe not in certain circles, but I'm trying to get away from those circles. I don't want anything to do with those circles anymore. I'm trying to make other circles. And so I think it's okay if someone's attacking you to be like, no, not okay. I'm willing to be attacked and deal with actual criticism, but that's not what was happening. So yeah, and again, it's not like I talk about him all the time. When he comes up, and especially when he is directing things at me, I will respond.
So does he come up in this video?
No, not at all.
Apparently not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Not to hash it, but the only reason that he came up today is because I thought Rezi, and I'm still pretty sure he did, said that, Wick F-bomb says to go F yourself or something. Now, it's very possible I misheard that, and he was reading a DM directed to him, or something was misinterpreted there. That's fine. But I'm pretty sure that my name was used, and then shortly after, that's what happened.
I might have just said, Wick, good afternoon, love you. Also, it could be, like I usually talk to my chat, but...
Yeah.
Okay, alright, yeah.
But we rehashed that, but go ahead.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna get back to it. I just gotta look through the shit, so...
And we don't have to... It doesn't make you less of a person. You aren't less than at all. But
why don't you just check the
it
transcript?
Isn't something that you should...
Of what?
Of this video.
What?
How do you do that?
Wait, what do you mean, share the transcript?
Why don't you just check the transcript?
For what?
Well, if you're looking for F-bombs... This is on YouTube, right?
I'm not watching this for the F-bombs content, my guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I at some point, Ninetails starts messaging in chat, and that's what I saw before Kid turned it off because he had to give Becoming her turn on the Xbox.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just interested in this last night. All right.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. I'm just trying to make sure I'm on the right path. Okay.
Are you?
I think so.
Are you having fun?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, well then you're on the right path, so shut the fuck up already.
Yes, Uncle Rezi.
Yeah, I know. Don't ever stop that shit.
Or celebrate, right?
Yeah, it's such a fine line between destigmatize. For a long time, part of my campaign on the internet was to kind of destigmatize certain aspects of sex workers because I felt that ultimately was producing more harm to them. But now I almost feel now I feel a little more nuanced on the topic, and I almost feel like the pendulum is swung the other way. But Sasha said something else interesting that I have thought a lot about is the way that transphobia specifically is being used to kind of, I feel like there is something specifically going on in the fringes of trans activism that's been really toxic and harmful and actually counterproductive. And I'm almost seeing an equal backlash on the right where now I'm seeing more people on the right who are more comfortable just being yeah, I'm against gay marriage and gay adoption. I feel like it's almost creating an equal backlash. But Sasha said transphobic is a good example. I don't know if someone hates or looks down on trans people or if they aren't just ideologically in lockstep with leftist orthodoxy regarding gender identity. And that's something I've dealt with because I do have some concerns over trans women in sports and prisons. I don't I probably have a disproportionate amount of trans people in my life. My ex is a trans woman. My best friend is non-binary. I have a lot. I don't feel like this is coming from a place of hate, but whenever I speak on it, and part of the reason I speak on it is because I want to kind of maybe normalize having a little more nuance so that we can be more reality-based in these conversations and maybe lower the temperature. But I never know if I'm actually doing that or if I'm just making the problem worse and just maybe I am actually just transphobic. And it gets confusing because people wouldn't know how.
I mean, there are definitely people that are going to call her transphobic for criticizing anything like that, right? But again, I feel like it's still internet.
I mean, who cares?
Yeah.
Again, transphobe, being called a transphobe has lost all meaning.
Yeah.
Being called a fascist has lost all meaning. Saying someone's committing blood libel has apparently lost all fucking meaning. At this point, who fucking cares? I don't think it's relevant anymore.
Fortunate. Absolutely fortunate of us. Be so free.
They are, you know, it's like it's
Having
so
a
hard to.
discussion on something is rarely, I'm not going to say never because it's not true, right? But rarely will it make things worse. Now, it might not make things better, or it might add to the confusion a little bit. But I think that the alternative is to just not have a discussion, and I think that's infinitely worse than any harm that potentially could be had by having discussions on a topic such as trans issues or gender identity issues. It is something that people are talking about. It is in the culture, right? We are talking about what does it mean to be a man or a woman, right? Or is that even important to us as a culture? And you have as many opinions on this as there are people in the world, right? Like everyone has their own little thing to say on it, and they really want to say it. I do agree with you though that it has become again an accusation that is levied at someone, not just because they not just when they hate trans people, and there are people who, I want to be clear, transphobia is a real problem.
Absolutely. I
However,
feel like it's on the rise, like in a lot of ways, in direct response to it. But continue.
Yeah. However, it is much like racism and other real problems. It has been weaponized in such a way that it's become the winner. Here, let me put it this way. I'm sorry. I'll say it this way: the winner in the story of the boy who cried wolf was the wolf, right? Because he cried it so many times, people came to check. Oh, that's not really a wolf, right? Oh, that's not really a wolf. Oh, that's not really a wolf. Oh, that's really a wolf. And eventually, when there actually was a wolf at the door, right, and he's saying, "There's a wolf. There's a wolf." No one believed him because he had cried it so many times. And so that's why I'm very careful when I make accusations.
That's such fucking cope. Such fucking cope. The winner in the story of the boy who called wolf is the villagers. Is the villagers. That boy was a dick and they got rid of him. That's why they didn't come. It was just fucking annoying. And then they had one less shit. Like, he was shit at his job. And that's the lesson of capitalism. You're either good at your job or you get eaten by fucking wolves. Ship up.
Wait, why did he get
up or ship out?
Wait, why did he get eaten by the wolf?
He was bad at his job. He was bad at capitalizing.
How was he bad at capital?
Obviously, he was bad at capital. He got eaten by a wolf. What's your explanation? If he'd just worked harder and done his job properly, like a good capitalist, he wouldn't have got eaten.
What was his job?
His job was to, like, tell people accurate information of when a wolf.
That's not a job. Around. That's just him exciting social bounds. Well, it's not anymore
because he got eaten.
Well, no, it's exciting social bounds, and this is literally just saying, yeah, someone who goes ahead and spouts off about a bunch of shit is going to lose credibility over time, right?
Yeah, and therefore the village has one less credible person. Therefore, the villagers win.
Yeah, but like 95% of the time, if we were to apply this, is like when you look at somebody and they say that, hey, there's like an abject harmful person, and then that harm doesn't come, like this is what Wick's arguing, right? It's really awkward with Wick here.
I can't believe you're seriously engaging me on what is an incredibly memey point.
Yeah. All right. So, but here's the thing, though, right? It's like
I can leave if it's.
No, you're good. I don't care. You're literally fine.
I got to prep for my No Opinion and Destiny show tomorrow. Anyway.
What is that?
I'm gonna have No Opinion.
Who's No Opinion?
And Destiny are going at 2 p.m. Eastern because that's when they can make it. We're gonna talk about geopolitics.
What specifically?
Yeah, I'm getting some serious people on. It's gonna be great. But
what specifically in geopolitics? Just
the way it was pitched to me is we're going to talk about geopolitics and make fun of Hassan, and that's what it was pitched to me. And so I have to make sure that it doesn't sit there and twiddle our thumbs conversation. So I have to make some topics for us. But
okay, I mean, yeah, if you need to go, you can go too. Like by all means.
Yeah.
You're not on trial.
You make your choice. You're not on trial.
It's more of a kangaroo.
No, the trial was earlier, Wick, and we've already like convened that to another day, so I can review clips and shit. Okay.
Sure.
All right.
I promise you, if you put my name in your title, I will come again.
I mean, I like now that I know how to Beetlejuice you and shit, it'll get me that extra viewer. I need that.
Yeah, exactly. You know, we all need those. It's a fight for views.
Yeah.
But I do want to talk about. To Beckett at some time,
sure.
Because you guys know Woo doesn't pay me, right?
chased down a lot of dreams, each one leading to the next, all the way to our latest. Introducing the all-new, all-electric Honda Prologue.
Just get good, bro. Just get good. I game like I had plus 50 toughness, but really, I'm plus 100 or free.
Hey, life can be scary, but State Farm supports you.
I feel plus 250 relief.